Flix yourself.
Hey everybody, it's another episode of Go Flix Yourself. My name is Ben Konowitz, and with me as always is the platypus to my lion, Bradford Oman.
Hey, that's me. I got a duck bill, and I'm pretty cool.
That's it?
Yeah.
No voice?
What? Well, hey, it's me, a platypus.
That's your sick Rick voice. We all know that.
Oh, hey, it's me, a platypus.
Well, now that's your Biden.
Oh, that's a good point.
And filling in for the vacationing Nate Loucks is the tiger to my lion, Alex Pappas.
I am not a pastor.
He is not a pastor, ladies and gentlemen, but he's a good friend of the pod, Alex Pappas.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
And he's got some fierce stripes.
Because he's a tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
This is great already.
And you're cowardly.
I'm not. I am a king of the jungle.
You're a lion.
You're that kind of lion?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like the Mufasa.
You were the cowardly lion from Wizard of
He's
Oz.
dead.
I'm the Mufasa.
He dies.
He's not dead. He didn't die.
You're
Oof.
gonna
Is this another movie you're watching in parts? Because let me tell you, you are in for the bad part.
Dang it!
It's coming down the pipes.
I thought that Scar was a good guy.
Speaking of coming down the pipes, Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no, no.
Here it comes, folks.
We're not even talking about that.
I know. I
today.
haven't even
Wait,
seen it
I
yet.
didn't watch that trailer.
Haven't even seen it yet.
Ugh. Do you have a sponsor?
Is
I've
there a
heard-
sponsor?
Did you bring a? Did you forget a sponsor?
Oh, did I forget a sponsor? Did you see me walk in with a bag of M&Ms?
Oh God. Okay, but by the way, this isn't a purchased bag of M&Ms.
No.
This is a Ziploc bag full of M&Ms.
First of all-
I'm not eating out of this.
No.
Ziploc bag.
First of all, it was a purchased bag of
Nope,
M&Ms.
I don't believe you. at all.
However, for whatever reason, the company that manufactured the resealable bag didn't want me to open it because when I opened it, it just fucking ripped and
No.
I could not reseal it. So,
No.
I put it in this nice, neat Ziploc bag. But it also works to preserve the mystery of the M&M's flavor that we are trying today, folks.
Oh,
Hobo Steve.
So today's sponsor is Hobo Steve's
Don't ever-
chocolate shell candies.
don't ever accept candy from a man that
Ben,
has
here
it
you,
in a
here
plastic
you go.
bag.
You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah.
It's a plastic bag of M&Ms. Go ahead and get some out of there. Put it in your little paw, your little lion cub paw.
I'm a man lion.
No, you are a boy lion. You are a cub. And you are young
It's
and,
so chewy.
and
Why is it
inexperienced.
so
This is not supposed to be so chewy.
Both of you made the weirdest face just because it's a chewy candy.
But
This
it's
is
not supposed to
no,
be
it's not.
chewy.
It's
It's
not
an
supposed to be chewy.
That just means you haven't had this particular M&M
No.
or its predecessor.
It's caramel.
It's
coffee?
So there it was a caramel M&M before this. This one is caramel cold brew M&Ms.
Oh no, brew. No. This is like when you have Sprite, and then you go to drink it, and you accidentally you drink Dr. Pepper. Do you think you're gonna have Sprite? That's what this was. Like it's just completely unnerving because it's shelled
I think that's your
like-
fault for anticipating the M&M to be exactly like a regular M&M.
I mean, it's hard not to. It's a thick candy shell.
Sure, but different flavors have different textures, and they're different. So
I don't like this at all.
It tasted good, and had I known it was going to be chewy, it probably wouldn't.
yeah, no. Admittedly, even when knowing what it was and I tried it, I was surprised by how chewy it was because the caramel is very chewy in the candy, but the flavor is solid. The cold brew coffee isn't overwhelming. It's subtle and it goes well with the caramel.
I was really worried that it was toffee. Like they had decided that they were.
They do have a
they
toffee
were gonna
crunch
put,
M&M.
Like, taffy and toffee inside of my M&Ms.
Taffy M&Ms. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
was
I don't want that.
terrifying.
I just want you to know too. Papa's got his own sponsor that he brought because it's
what? You're just cracking beers over there?
no. This isn't a beer. This is hard Mountain Dew.
Oh my god!
Live wire hard Mountain Dew because the only way I like my Mountain Dew is hard as a rock. And this is a big, thick can of hard Mountain Dew. So let me just take a second.
Oh god! I hate it when you write in the mic. It's just not
It
for
is
anybody.
good. Alcoholic Mountain Dew. It's okay. No, these are they just came out with a new flavor. They came out with 4 flavors last year. This year they came out with the live wire one. But the problem, at least when the flavor is concerned, is
The problem.
these are 0 sugar, so they don't taste nearly
Not
as
a
good.
problem. It's good for you.
No, it's good, but the flavor isn't nearly as good as regular Mountain Dew.
Just go regular Mountain Dew.
I've been cutting back on the sugar anyway, so
Yeah.
but this is for Papa to get a little buzz on.
Jesus Christ!
It is a mighty can.
It is.
as
This
well.
is.
That is.
If this.
That's like a honking can.
If you want a can to represent hard Mountain Dew, you want a big thick can like this.
That's true.
That's, yeah.
That's
I feel
embarrassing
represented.
language.
Yeah.
Very well.
This is this is a good can.
Well, looking forward to the slurred speech that comes about halfway through the show.
This is a movie podcast where we like to talk about movies, some trailers, the last movies we've seen. We have some jokes, some chuckles, some yucks, if you will. Sometimes we call this the Chuckle Hut.
Well, okay, this is why I miss Nate. He keeps us right on track, and we'd already be having a better episode if Nate.
Oh, am I supposed to be keeping you on track?
No. This is not. This is like having a guest, but then not having Nate. And Nate is the one that just keeps us on track. He does. Brad doesn't do nearly this silly shit that he's doing right now. Where I don't know.
This is the Snicker Yurt.
He would, you know what? If Nate was here, he would have brought a bag of actual product.
The chortle tent.
Some Ziploc baggie full
the
of...
Laugh Log Cabin.
Oh, God, I hate you.
Anyway, go Flix Yourself as a movie podcast. So, Ben, what's the last movie you saw?
The last movie that I saw was Going the Distance.
Oh.
That was a movie assigned to me by my friend Brad Oman.
That's me.
Yeah. And it stars Justin Long and Drew Barrymore. It's from 2010. It also has Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis in the movie. And it's very clever. And it's very, very good. And they don't make movies like that anymore.
What's it about?
It is a romantic comedy starring Justin Long
Mm-hmm.
and Drew Barrymore. It is a long distance relationship romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Two people that are not looking for a relationship end up in one, and they fight for the relationship. And it's all the foibles and fun stuff with the long distance relationship and the bad parts. And then, of course, the Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis serve as the comic fodder. And they do a good job.
Yeah. Christina Applegate and Jim Gaffigan are funny too.
Oh yeah, they're great too. They play Christina Applegate plays Drew Barrymore's sister, and Jim Gaffigan is the brother-in-law. And there's some really outrageous, fun moments in that little ensemble.
I love this movie. This is one of
It's great. It really is.
It's one of my favorite romantic comedies. It's every bit as hilarious as your average R-rated comedy, but it's got some genuine charm to it, and you can sense the real chemistry between Justin Long and Drew Barrymore. They started dating because of this movie, and you really feel that in their characters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I really like it. Have you seen it, Alex?
I don't think I have, which is weird because I also enjoy romantic comedies with those people in them.
Yeah,
but
Drew Barrymore
flew beneath my radar.
is very attractive in this movie.
She really is.
And I don't find her necessarily. She's not really my cup of tea most of it, but I will admit, like I was very. Drew Barrymore's looking good here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're from the age where she was on Letterman and she did the dance on the desk, and that made her attractive to me, I think, beyond where I would probably, much like you're, not my type, right? But I remember Wild Girl Drew Barrymore, and I was like, yeah, okay, a little crazy can get you there.
That's true. That's true.
So
yeah, I caught some of that period when she was kind of made out to be a sex symbol,
Poison Ivy or.
Yeah, she was in one of those.
Yeah,
and
something
then,
like that.
And then she has that small role in Batman Forever where she's basically wearing lingerie.
Yeah.
And then Wayne's World 2, she has a cameo where she's also made to be like a sexy secretary. So there was a time when she was really like one of those kinds of actresses where just a total dish, if you will.
Dish.
But so you like to go in the distance.
I did. I really did enjoy it. I would watch a lot more movies like that.
That's good. And did you watch anything else?
Yeah, I watched Creed 3.
Oh,
I watched Creed 3.
Creed the Third.
Creed the Third, much like Shrek the Third.
Yeah, Creed Triple I.
Yeah, it's a very well done movie.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I thought that the action scenes, the boxing scenes were fantastic. I think that Michael B. Jordan does a great job directing here. The thing that I think I like the most about the movie is how much, and we said this in the trailer, how much of a Rocky movie this feels like.
Mm-hmm.
It really fits into the narrative and the structure of the entirety of the Rocky series. It's, the friend from the past coming back, and is it good or bad? And, of course, he's got to fight him, blah, blah, blah. They've got great montage scenes in there. I mean, it really does its job.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Solid.
And I like that, I remember if I mentioned this when I talked about having seen Creed 3 a while back, but I like that they don't shy away from making Creed not to be a straight up hero in this one, because he ends up being kind of a douchebag and
He's a bit of a dick,
making some unfortunate decisions
and saying some weird shit to his wife.
Yeah. He turns into a bit of a prick in this one. There's obviously some redemption there, but was it a little weird considering the Jonathan Majors of it all now with not being clear what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, it's still too early to tell what the hell's going to happen with that. So I honestly wasn't really thinking too much about that.
Yeah.
That kind of hit the radar of the news cycle, and then it fell right off.
Yeah.
And so I think if it was more pervasive in my social media feeds and things like that, I probably would have thought about it more. But then after just reflecting, when you asked me that question off the podcast, and I was like, oh shit, I kind of forgot that he was. Made it easy to. Yeah, I guess it did make it all easier. Beat his ass, Creed.
Yeah, that's a troubling situation, especially because after for those of you who haven't heard, there is allegations that there was an altercation between Jonathan Majors and his girlfriend at a bar, and that he might have gotten physical with her. And after that, there was like some rumblings of like him having some serious like abusive, and anger control issues, and that it's just now coming out. But now and then the lawyers were all talking about like there being like we have evidence that will exonerate him and that kind of thing, but like
that hasn't really come out.
Yeah, and the text that came out just made it seem like the girlfriend was just backing down from it.
Dude,
and it's just like, I don't know about this.
Like Jonathan Majors' legal team was like, that's something we should release.
Yeah.
What? It looks so victim. It's still like she's definitely a victim. Like that's a cry for help text.
It's a bit weird. So I don't know. It's if there's a problem there, I hope that he can get some help, and and hopefully we'll face the consequences if it turns out that there's a bigger problem there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I like him as an actor, and then if this is even remotely true, it's like, okay, well, bye.
Yeah,
I don't need to watch anymore.
Yeah, sorry, Kang.
Yeah, there's tons of Kangs. Like they made a whole point about how there's plenty of Kangs to choose from.
Plenty of Kangs in the
so
sea.
if you can pick a new Kang at any moment in time, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Kang of the Jungle.
Kang, yeah, that's true. Kang Kong.
But this might just turn out to be just a minor incident instead of a major's problem.
Kang Ralph.
Oh, boy.
I'd watch Kang Ralph.
Did you hear his pun?
I did.
It was for you.
I'm laying down on a couch.
I know.
So,
Yes, you are.
I don't know what you want.
Well, it's a futon.
I am laying down on a futon.
Let's not
podcast studio futon.
Let's not misclassify here.
You pull out all the futons.
Yeah, because they turn into beds.
See, I did it.
Alex, what's the last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw was Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Oh,
in the theater.
And did you
that's
find
one
there?
I'm never going to remember the after the colon on that one. You're
Did
going to
you
get me every single time. I'm really thieving with honor.
Dungeons and Dragons, new and collected.
It's Dungeons and Dragons hat. And
there you
then
go.
you're just ready to rock and roll.
Thank you.
Did you find there to be honor among thieves?
Yeah, it was pretty honorable.
Yeah.
First, it was very honorable because at the beginning, all of the actors thanked me for watching the movie in the theater.
That is true.
And
they did
that
one of those promos.
Yeah.
That has happened to me like three times
Not
now.
only did they thank you, but I think they said, you guys are the real heroes.
Yeah, I was the hero.
God.
I hadn't been the hero since 2020 when I was getting takeout food. So that felt really good for me. And I feel like more movies should thank me directly like that before the movie starts. No, I really enjoyed it. I've played Dungeons and Dragons with both of you.
Yes.
So
and you play a lot more frequently.
I
than
do
we
play a lot more
big-
frequently.
you're a
I
big-
filled in one time and I was not very good at it.
You're a big D&D player.
It was fun though.
we had fun. That's
was a
what.
great
Then you were
time.
very good at it because that's all that really matters.
It was so fun.
So, but I found it to be very enjoyable. I saw it with my middle son, who's giving a thumbs up about it as well. I was interested to see it. Obviously, I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons guy. As you said, I play it pretty consistently, about probably like close to 25, 26 hours a month, I would say, which was probably a lot of time to spend on pen and paper pretend games with my friends. But, and the movie did a really good job. I mean, I think that I was interested to go into it to see what was going to feel like fan service, right? Because, like, Jedi aren't fan service in Star Wars. They just exist in that world. And, like, the D&D world is really crazy difficult to describe. But, like, there are these monsters. And, like, oh, that's a displacer beast. That's a gelatinous cube. I know what those are. But, like, that's not fan service. Those have to be there for the world to exist.
In the movie, yeah.
Right. Like, that's world building. And I found really interestingly that the fan service was at least for me, it felt like it was written by people who really did play the game. Like the paladin taking himself way more seriously than the rest of the party. The consistent like the MacGuffin chase and how the MacGuffins always one up each other. You need this, but before you can get this, you have to get that, and before you get that, you have to go there and talk to that guy. And then maybe the one that was the best, at least in terms of like Dungeons and Dragons nerd fan service, was how the names were very close to real people names, but not. There's like a bird guy named Jornathan, and
Clarf.
Yeah, and like one of them's named like Dork, but like spelled wrong, right? And like those things are that's what D&D is. D&D is a birdman named Jornathan, and one guy coming to the table who wants to play a really grim and serious guy, and everyone else is Chris Pining with the Marvel jokes. And so like that to me felt very like, okay, these are people who have done this not because they can, accurately describe a rust monster or because they can list off a bunch of lore about the Wizards of Thay, but like they've done this because they've clearly been around a bunch of goofy morons playing this goofy moron game and have taken that and brought it to the
Dungeons
the
and
screen.
Dragons goofy moron game.
They even
That's
have
the
a character in there named Sven Bonowitz who sells butters. Sells different flavored butters to the people.
All sorts of seamless butters.
Yeah, he's just churning every day. He's churning.
I can't believe it's not seamless butter.
Churning
Can't
butter.
believe it's not seamless butter. But yes, I really did like it. I think that anyone would like it who enjoys action comedies. I don't think that you have to have any experience with Dungeons and Dragons to enjoy this at all.
Yeah, Nate and I told Ben that, and he still doesn't believe us, and he's still being...
I know. I said I was going to go see it now.
But you haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, because I wanted to see Creed 3.
Okay, but there was other days.
No, there aren't.
No.
There's 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Creed 3 is not a 48-hour movie.
We've been over this. Can I talk to you over here real quick?
Go ahead.
So, listen. Alex is on the
I
show.
don't care.
No,
These are
Alex
excuses.
is on the show. We're trying to, I want to have him back. Nate's not here. You can fill in.
Alex, can I talk to you over here for a second?
Yeah.
Can you believe this bullshit that I have to put up with when Nate's not here?
At least he watched all of Creed 3 at one time.
I mean, I guess that's true.
You gotta
Wait, hold on. Did you?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Well, I wasn't part of that conversation.
Did you watch
You
Creed?
said that you wanted to talk to him over there. I couldn't hear you.
Did you watch Creed 3 in one sitting?
2.
Son of a
right.
bitch.
Why? Did you guys talk about that?
Don't worry about it. It's not for you.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway.
Just real quick, Alex, can I talk to you over here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to just replace Brad when Nate comes back?
I mean,
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Replacing you on the podcast.
Have you watched anything else, Alex?
it doesn't work if you tell him.
I know.
What, movie-wise?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that I have watched any more movies recently.
Have you watched anything else?
Actually, that's not true. I watched Riddick.
Oh, okay.
Not Chronicles of,
The third.
but the third just titular Riddick.
Yeah.
Which I had seen, I think, probably two times prior, a long time ago, but is on Netflix again. And boy, hardy, does that just get me really excited for more Riddick.
Did you say Boy Hardy?
I sure did.
Okay.
It's boy howdy.
Well, sometimes I'm more literate, so it's boy hardy. Like
Well, if we were-
hardy boy.
Yeah, but see, if you were talking about like a murder mystery or something like that, I would have been okay with that.
Well, that's
but
what the fourth Riddick film is going to be.
Otherwise, it sounds like you're just excited about having Hardee's.
Is that some kind of candy you're going to force us to eat?
No, Hardee's is a fast food chain with over
Oh,
1,000
Hardee's.
locations
Yeah.
worldwide.
Carl's Jr.
With over
I know.
14 locations worldwide.
Some might know it as Carl's Jr.
Yeah, it's there's an east-west divide where Hardee's becomes Carl's Jr.
Yeah, exactly. Hardee's is the Bloods and Carl's Jr. is the Crips.
It's like
I
the
think.
checkers and rallies situation.
It's exactly the checkers and rally situation.
It's like Popeyes and McDonald's.
Mm.
Is it not?
There's got to be a movie in the story behind the rallies checkers situation.
Oh, that's yeah. They're
and like
making
whatever
movies
happened to
about
Carl's Jr., Carl's Sr., like there has to be drama there.
Yeah.
I hope so. I would love to see it. Speaking of which, I did watch a movie that has equally as potentially silly of drama, and that's Tetris, which is available on Apple TV Plus now. And you know what? It's actually a surprisingly good movie. It's the kind of thing where like you don't think that a movie about them, making Tetris is going to be all that thrilling. But if the story in this movie is true, it is a bonkers fucking story behind how Tetris got turned into this popular video game that involves the USSR and the KGB and very clear and obvious threats from the Russian government and shady dealings. And
Would you say it was like clear and present danger?
I would say so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would say that, and I would say that there was probably a sum of all fears.
So would you say that Tetris is, because it kind of went to America, is more of like a patriot game?
Probably.
Okay.
So did you watch
Air
Tom
Force One.
Clancy's Tetris?
It does feel like it. It's a very serious thing. Like it is very much a tense thriller. It's like it's got a little bit of Social Network, but it's got a lot of intrigue in it. I was really surprised by just how serious it is. And we talked about this when we watched the trailer. There's some video game flourishes in the trailer, and I wasn't too sure if that was just stylized for the trailer or if it's in the movie. It's in the movie, and it doesn't always work. When it works its best, it's when they use it as like chapter bumpers or like for establishing shots of locations that like go from 8-bit or 16-bit and turn into the real life, imagery. But in the final act, they use video game graphics during a chase sequence, and it's like, this is too much, guys. You didn't need to do this. This is, unnecessary.
How much full frontal male nudity?
Oh, 0.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe I'll check it out.
However,
Okay.
to compensate for it, every time you see a 4-block line in Tetris, it is a penis.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And it is as thick as a hard Mountain Dew can.
I knew somehow I fucking knew that you were gonna bring up that stupid can in reference to a penis. I was so surprised you didn't do it when you had it in your hand.
Here's the thing. You're the one who brought in full frontal male nudity for no reason whatsoever into a discussion about Tetris.
You look like you wanted me to bring it up.
Brad was just waiting for all the pieces to fit.
Story of my life.
What else did you watch, buddy?
I also watched... Oh, you'll be happy about this. I think you know that I haven't seen this, and I'm surprised you hadn't ever assigned it to me before, and now you don't have to. I watched The Burbs.
What? We had this conversation previously on the podcast where we said, "Oh my God, Nate and I both said, we're definitely gonna."
I think I was on that podcast because I watched
make
The
you watch
Burbs.
this. Yeah.
Did you watch The Burbs?
Well, I think
Like
the last time I was
previously.
on, I talked about how I watched The
And
Burbs.
then you probably
Oh.
said, "Oh, I've never seen that." And we were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what? That's gonna be the movie we assigned to you."
Yeah, I decided to watch it because it
It's
was
great.
it was pretty short. It's I don't know if it's great. It's it's a weird one.
It's great.
I don't think they would ever make this movie
No.
today.
No.
No.
It is such an oddball thing. Everyone is great in it. I mean, you've got Bruce Dern.
I mean, the chewing of the scenery by all the characters is why the movie's so good.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Carrie Fisher. You got Tom Hanks, who I love seeing Tom Hanks in roles like this. My favorite person in this movie, though, by far, is, and I have to get his name. Hold on
Corey
one second.
Feldman.
Well, Corey Feldman. Actually, I have a funny thing about Corey
Hard second.
Feldman that I'll tell you here in a second. What's the name of the guy who plays the friend? Where is it at? Oh, Rick Ducommun.
Oh, the cross the street guy or the
Yeah.
best friend guy?
Yeah,
The slubby
Yeah,
best
the-
friend that gets
yeah,
up on the pole and shocks himself.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
the loud neighbor. Yeah,
He's great.
He's great in everything. He's a great supporting character, comedic actor. He's really funny in this. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised they haven't remade this. And there are movies that have come close to like.
I like how you said this movie could not be made today. And then
No, not in the way that they do it now.
Sure, no,
but
I
I
know.
could see them remaking this in like a much more high concept way. They kind of have with The Watch. The Watch kind of has that vibe, but it veers more into like actual sci-fi territory than this does. But yeah, this is just a quirky, very very weird dark comedy, and I liked it. I didn't love it. One thing I was shocked by, and I couldn't find anything about this, and I want to see if I can find anything about it. Do you remember the opening shot of this movie?
I mean, I'd have to see it again.
It's not a sky shot?
It is.
Yeah.
It starts off with the Universal logo, and then it turns into a little bit more of a cartoony globe, and the camera starts moving into the globe, and in a seamless single take, it goes into the globe, and there are no clear like fades or transitions. It just keeps getting closer and closer to like the continents and the land, so that you can keep seeing detail. It's like if you were to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's like if you were to do
the Google Earth.
Yeah.
Where it zooms
Yeah.
in.
and it's so clean cut and crisp, and I have no idea how they did it. Obviously, when it gets to the end and you see the houses, they're models, but they look really good. But I just don't know how they did all of the transitional shots leading up to it, because it is done in such a way that it looks like they actually just had a real satellite camera go from space and into the thing. It's really well done, and I was surprised by that.
It was a very seamless butter transition.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
We got a theme for this episode. And
Was it that joke was margin?
No.
Okay.
I think you need to parquet yourself over there for a second and just chill.
You know what? Spread them.
I think that
Butter pads.
the Burbs
Butter pants.
suffers from that. Suffers from the there's enough media now that it's hard to explain what was about it then. That like the Burbs was weird and dark and comedic and was like for adults.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of media like that when the Burbs comes out. Whereas now we can all be, kind of fed the material that we want to have, and so like you could be, you finished up watching Wednesday, last month. Like you can get dark, weird for adults or quasi humorous at a lot more places now. So like you liked the Burbs, you didn't love it. When Ben and I both like jumped out of our seats, like you finally watched the Burbs. I think that's definitely like the time that it was in.
I don't know if I entirely agree with it being an anomaly because it came out in '89, and the '80s are kind of chock full of a lot of weird, dark comedy movies, especially from Joe Dante. He directed this, and he did Gremlins and that kind of thing. But it is like a kind of movie that they don't make often very more, especially because I feel like if they're doing something that is strictly for adults, it's not quite as accessible as this. And this feels like, because it was PG even in 1989, and there's not anything particularly
gruesome or terrifying about it.
Yeah.
It's just this kind of suspenseful, honestly, just very suspenseful. Like, are the Klopex killers or am I going crazy?
Yeah.
And everybody in his life is on one side of that fence or the other. There is nobody with.
And it's very much I part of me wished that they hadn't spelled it out so clearly, but they probably had to at the time, because you get the idea that like the people who are suspecting their neighbors of being killers and being nosy and that kind of thing in the suburbs because they have nothing better to do except live this happy, blissfully ignorant life in the suburbs.
Yep.
And that's the whole point of it, And obviously this spin that like, oh no, wait, they actually are psychopaths. But I wish they didn't have to be so in your face about like we're the fucked up ones. It's like we know, and like that's what like that time was about, because people in the suburbs fucking sucked.
I mean it was. That movie, I remember watching that when it came out, because I was probably 8 years old when I saw that, like with my parents when it came out for rent, and because it was rated PG.
Yeah.
And so it blew me away when I was a kid, right? But I think there's a lot of nostalgia probably for me, and why I got such a reverence for it. But again, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice,
the Addams Family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All that stuff, the kind of macabre.
They really skewered like the yuppies with like dark comedy and like
I like all those
oddities.
Yeah, I think all those are great movies.
Yeah, for sure. I went to the theaters today to see a movie.
Yeah, I know.
You're a hero.
You called me when I was at work.
What'd you say?
I said you're a hero.
Hey, thanks.
Did they call you a hero?
No, this
Did
one.
Adam Driver say like, "Oh, Brad, you're a hero"?
Oh, that's interesting. That sounded something was off about that. Like you were like an older man.
I'm acting.
My name is Adam Driver.
That's closer. I like that one.
That was pretty good.
That's a good one.
You're a hero.
Okay. I appreciate that, Adam. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, he didn't tell me that. But I saw 65, in case you didn't guess already. I've been putting this off for a long time and meaning to see it. And it's a good sci-fi adventure movie. The critics weren't too high on it. It's got something like a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's a simple sci-fi adventure. There's nothing, super special about it, but it's solid. And I feel like it's the kind of movie that you could take your kids who are like 10, 11, or 12 to, and they would like really get a kick out of it. It's from the guys who wrote A Quiet Place. They directed it, they wrote it, and it has that vibe of being A Quiet Place in a way, but just set 65 million years ago, and there's dinosaurs instead of sound creatures, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun time.
Okay,
I would recommend people see it.
It looked like it took itself too seriously. Does it take itself too seriously?
In what way?
I mean, well, first of all, it always kind of feels like Adam Driver's taking himself too seriously, but that's removed from.
I don't think he takes himself too seriously. I think he takes himself seriously enough. Like he's
Was it fun? Is it a fun movie?
It's a suspenseful, fun adventure. Like
Okay.
it takes itself seriously in the sense that like it's like it's not goofy, but there are moments of levity because of the dynamic between Adam Driver and the young girl in it.
I guess when you mentioned The Quiet Place, is that's the vibe that I got from the trailer, and I don't know, like
as far as the suspense and tension and stuff like that is
Yeah.
concerned, but like it's not necessarily trying to be like an Oscar movie or something.
yeah.
Like
Well,
that.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Should
It's
call it 35 with the Rotten Tomatoes score.
You show some fucking respect.
You put some respect on
He was in
that.
the military.
So I was also assigned.
He was a hero.
I was assigned a movie. That's true. He's from Maryville. Did you know that? Or not Maryville,
No,
Mishawaka.
Mishawaka. He went to
Come
Penn or
on.
something, didn't he?
Something like that.
He went to Penn.
Get your head out of your ass.
Put your head in my ass.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Earmuffs. Listener.
You also assigned me a movie.
I did. Yeah, I forgot. I did give you a movie.
You did. I had a good variety of movies that I watched this week, and this one
This was not
this
one.
was not one of the better ones. Ben gave me The Replacement Killers, which is directed by Antoine Fuqua of all people, who has directed some good movies. Ben, I think some movies that you enjoy, even though you didn't realize that this was directed by Antoine
honestly.
Fuqua. And so, for those who don't know, this is a movie from 1998, and it's Chow Yun-fat as an assassin, and Mira Sorvino as like a forger of documents, and she gets stuck with him because they get caught up being chased down by this Asian mob boss who hired Chow Yun-fat to kill someone who was responsible for a cop who was responsible for killing his son, but because he feels bad because the cop has a young son and doesn't want to do the job, he ends up getting chased down, and it turns into a whole action thing. And this is one of the most straightforward, simple action movies that I have seen ever. Like just a basic, this guy messed up and he pissed his boss off, and now he's getting chased down. Guns, bang, bang, run. And it's
That's
not
actually what they called it.
guns, bang, bang,
Run, yeah.
it's not great. It's one of those things where it kind of suffers from the fact that it was made during a time when studios were clearly trying to capitalize on the fact that Jackie Chan was very popular because of the rise of popularity in his
Rumble
movies.
in the Bronx came out in 1986. I think.
Rush Hour was a big thing, and Chow Yun-fat in his own right was a very big movie star when it came to action. But in 1998, we're not getting prime Chow Yun-fat, and Chow Yun-fat isn't necessarily quite as skilled or exciting to watch as Jackie Chan. And when you pair him with Mira Sorvino, it's kind of like putting paper on popcorn, and it just doesn't taste good.
Paper on popcorn.
Heard it here first, folks.
I don't really like Mira Sorvino. She's pretty plain in this.
Wait, would you do you shred the paper like confetti and put it on the popcorn?
It's up to you.
Or you put the popcorn in the paper and then like make it a ball and then take a bite out of it.
I'm not eating it, so it's up to you.
I'd do the first one.
Probably confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, like paper
The
shreds.
second one's going to be a whole mess.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this it was not great. The one thing I will say though is, if I were an executive who had seen this movie, I would definitely be interested in Antoine Fuqua as a filmmaker, because he did make some really interesting choices as far as like shot composition and how he shot some of the action and that kind of thing. You can see some potential there, but otherwise it's just like, okay,
Meh.
whatever. But yeah, at least this allowed him to go on and to do Training Day and the Equalizer and that kind of stuff.
I like the Equalizer.
Yeah, the Equalizer is solid. But yeah, so Replacement
You know
Killers.
what's not solid?
Tell me.
The Equalizer 2.
Yes, that's true.
It's not very good.
It's a big
did
step
that?
down.
I
They
didn't know
did.
they did that.
They
Yeah.
did do that.
It was Denzel Washington's first sequel that he has ever been in, and he learned his lesson.
I think they're still.
They're doing a third one.
Yeah, they're supposed to do the 3 Equalizer, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, did you? Are you gonna start giving me good movies?
You know what? I've given you a couple good movies.
What's the last one you gave me that you really believed in?
The Hunted.
How long ago was that?
Like 6 weeks ago.
Pretty sure it was like last year.
No. It's like 6 weeks ago. Yeah.
Nah, I don't believe
No,
that.
I'm still voting that we all watch The Munsters together, but Brad and Nate really don't want to do that.
I mean, is it like a hate watch thing?
I don't think it's going to be a hate watch. I think it's going to be not a terrible movie.
I feel like it's going to be a
You're
hate
full
watch.
of shit. You're so full of shit.
But you could totally make like some interesting content out of that, but like you'd have to commit to the bit.
I want to watch the monsters. I don't know why.
But you can't do it on your own.
I don't. No,
you
no,
need
no.
you
I
need to
have
have this.
yes.
Like, no, guys, I have to watch the
I
monsters
feel like
for
it's
my
like,
podcast.
I'm over here going like, this Kool-Aid's pretty good. And if Nate and Brad would just sip a little bit of it with me, we would all go down in history. Come on, Brad.
I would think that Netflix is only like a couple of years away from like a live action Hotel Transylvania anyways. So like they have to finish off that Adam Sandler contract. So I would just hold out for that
instead of the
live action monsters.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
If you could go that way. Did you pick The Replacement Killers just because he had never seen it, or did you have like
we've got this enormous list, right?
Yeah,
that we go through, and I will just randomly scroll to the middle of it sometimes instead of starting at A, because I don't want to just like, oh, here's another A movie. That, So I remember just randomly going to the R's, and that was the first one that popped out. Like, oh wow, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. And then I actually did give him a couple other options, like with killer in the title, like Hunter Killer,
and the Lady Killers,
which honestly, I would have either any of
never
those
seen
three.
The Lady Killers?
Because The Lady Killers is a stupid bad movie.
Yeah.
It's one of Tom Hanks' worst performances. But I am curious what you would think of that movie. And it's a bad movie on purpose. Like I would never.
You think The Lady Killers is a bad movie on purpose?
No, like I would purposely giving you a bad movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and I really wasn't trying to do that. I just remember The Replacement Killers being like, I was probably 17.
Oh, it's on Showtime
much. I probably just was like, oh, I like that one. That was my
listening to Evanescence,
my nostalgic memory,
and Creed,
some ICP,
3 Doors Down.
I listened to ICP back in the day.
Just really rocking it.
I
did say that. I've seen pictures. You used to dye your goatee.
I own the Great Malenko.
Yeah, that's the one to own.
Yeah,
if you're gonna own it,
that's the one to own.
If you were gonna tell anybody you owned an ICP album, that's the one you want to.
It would be so weird if it was like a deep cut B-side album called like Clown Farts or whatever. And like that's the one I own.
It's true fans only.
I think that you'd be like a cream soda Faygo guy.
Why do I look like a cream? First of all, do I look like a Faygo guy in the first place?
You don't want me to answer that.
Oh my god, terrible.
Xander, are you excited about Faygo?
Yeah, actually, he just had cotton candy Faygo for the first time. We're talking about my son who's in the studio.
Yeah.
He just had cotton candy Faygo for the first time yesterday, and that like
blew his
changed
mind.
his whole life.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Ben, I think you're a cream soda Faygo guy.
I'm not a Faygo guy at all. I've literally never had a Faygo.
I don't
well,
believe it. I don't believe
you
that.
should have to give that album back.
I've never painted my face like a juggalo, and I've never had a Faygo.
Silly J is upset.
It's Violent J.
Violent J is upset.
I wish there was a Silly J.
Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, and I'm Silly J.
Silly J is from the Fun Clown Posse.
I'm over here doing balloon animals.
Yeah, there's like a Kids Bop version of Insane Clown Posse.
You guys are talking about stabbing, and I'm thinking, guys, why don't we just use that knife to cut the cake?
Bust your teeth.
You know what I'm gonna bust? This pinata.
Oh, guys.
That's what clowns do. Hey, let's talk about some.
Let's talk
about some trailers.
Trailer time with Ben and Brad. Trailer time.
Wasn't there complaints last time from Ben about like the trailer song being just like this?
I was just trying to replicate what you guys always do.
There's not a lot of consistency onto what standards you're holding each other to when it comes to the songs anymore. But you're still trying, and
the trailer song is typically more simple than the game song.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
At least, the game song when Ben does it is always simple. So, like Mary Had a Little Lamb or something like that.
That's what you're gonna get this time. Well, I didn't write a game, but still, I would have.
Wow, he didn't write a game.
No, did you?
I almost wrote a game.
No, but
you said no, but no, but
no,
I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like the person that invited the guest on is supposed to write the game.
We can still play a game though. We can still play like the IMDb game or something like that. So
you're such an ass.
Last time Nate just had you guys like pick out your favorite movie from 2 different movies. I can do that.
Yeah,
because that's not a game.
I
so
fucking told you.
You want 2
That's
movies?
That's exactly what I said, and you guys started crying about it.
Nate has a lot more thought put into it.
No, I gave him credit before.
They were all
I qualified.
They all had the same last name associated with them.
Exactly. He put some work into it.
There you go.
I don't know why you're both shitting on Nate when he's not here to
I'm not shitting on Nate.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That just wasn't
I
a
really
game.
am sorry.
He's not listening to this.
He's on an Alabama vacation. He's not listening to
All
this.
right, we have 2 superhero trailers that we're going to talk about on this podcast. One of them is a new trailer for a movie that we have seen trailers previously before, and the other one is a brand spanking new trailer from which we hadn't seen anything. So let's start off by talking about the new trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Actually, sorry, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, where there are even more Spider-Men than before. And what do you guys think of this trailer?
I liked it.
Xander's giving a thumbs up, so that's good. The kids are excited.
Yeah. It's, the first trailer was really good. I don't know why they do this stuff. I don't need to see this trailer.
It's not for you.
I know, but I'm all in. Like I'm already in. It's like nothing else was revealed in this trailer that got me any more excited than the very first one.
I mean, I disagree with that. I was actually very fascinated by the Spider-Man $29.99, $20.99, is that what it is?
So $20.99.
$20.99, who's voiced by Oscar Isaac, because I was not expecting Spider-Man 2099 to be this intense or adverse to the presence of Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse.
Cool.
Fuck you.
No, it's fine. I mean,
Alex, let's have a real conversation. While Chucklefuck over there just sits and spreads butter on his tits.
Well, first of all, I'm excited about any time they introduce a multiverse concept of one person who has like organized all of his multiverses into like a council or a committee or a bunch of Spider-Men who hang out in a building together.
A bunch of Spider-Men.
I always, Arthur Spider-Man and his family, and so like that's always a great concept. It further reminds me of just how far we've come with concepts in general, that like you can throw this at the wall and like no, everybody's comfortable enough with multiverses and multiple dimensions and different time periods of the same character that we can just do this now and we're just going to keep doing it everywhere we go. It's gorgeous. It looks really good. The plot
thickens.
Yeah, the plot thickens, but I think
they haven't really given much away about the plot. Like the basic gist is just that, Gwen takes Miles Morales into like to see just how big the Spider-Verse really is, and for whatever reason, Spider-Man 2099
wants to kill him.
Well, doesn't want to kill him, but just doesn't want him to be part of it at all. Like there's some reason that he's like doesn't want him involved or anything like that. And
probably just like Doctor Strange, like we found out the biggest threat to the universe was Miles Morales.
There's something there. Like maybe he's gonna cause some kind of cataclysmic event or something like that.
I exist across a multiverse of comic book property information. So in the Spider-Verse films, has Miles Morales' dad not died yet? Did he not die in the first one?
No, he's still alive.
Sorry, spoilers, I guess. But like Miles Morales' dad dies. His dad, who's a cop. It's like the Uncle Ben situation for him. So I'm assuming that that's gonna happen, and that like that's what spins the plot around here, is that Miles has access to the multiverse, so he could save his dad. Yeah, it's just like a Flashpoint thing. That is my one, I guess, kind of negative aspect to that whole thing, is that does seem to be the only idea we have for the multiverse.
Well, at least it's a prominent thread in the comics, I mean, so you can't really slight the movie for.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about across the larger scope of comic book properties now. Like we're playing in the multiverse, both in the DC side and on the Marvel side now in a lot of different ways. But we are still kind of dealing with this same kind of like, well, what if you made a personal choice that caused the whole universe to be in danger? And like, okay, but like every single time is that the motivation for why the multiverse is going to destroy us is because some kid made the decision a kid would make in a situation when he has to make a decision.
To be fair, though, that's something that I feel like is present even just outside of like the multiverse concept. Like, I mean, Spider-Man himself, it's always about the choice between how he lives his personal life and how he lives his life as Spider-Man.
No, I'll give you that. But I'm excited for this film. It's gorgeous looking, and I mean, they hit it out of the park with the first one. Yeah,
they were. There's a shot in this thing that was singled out in the trailer that Chris Miller, who's one of the producers, along with Phil Lord, they're a team. They've done 21 Jump Street, the Lego Movie, and they produced the first Spider-Man as well. Where Punk Spider-Man is like playing the guitar, and just like when he like strokes, like the way like the animation like skizzes out, and like there's incredible amounts of layers and just like styles you haven't seen before, and it's unbelievable.
More like Styles Morales, you know what I'm saying?
Oh boy. Anyway, I'm so excited to see this. I cannot wait.
Because it's Styles Morales.
He did it twice.
Yeah, he thinks.
It was the first time I gave him a thumbs up.
Now I'm gonna give him a middle finger.
Wow.
Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
It's a harsh crowd tonight. Why are you so aggressive? Is it because Nate's not here?
I think it's because you're sitting on the couch with your hand on your dick.
It's not on my dick. It's just where my hand's resting.
Oh boy. So yeah, Spider-Man in.
You're not making fun of Lounge Boy over here.
I didn't have a choice. This was the mic I was told to use after the other mic didn't work.
And
this
also,
is the direction it points.
Yeah, and he's not just like sitting there grabbing his crotch.
I'm
either.
not grabbing my crotch.
He's just laying there comfortably.
It's like a sexualized Obi-Wan Kenobi thing you got going on over there.
You know, Nate, come back.
Sexualized Obi-Wan Kenobi is my first book title.
It's a
series of essays.
Well, I'm currently writing gun, bang, bang, run.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse comes out June 2nd, 2023. Should be a big summer flick.
Speaking of big summer flicks, our other trailer was for Blue Beetle.
It is another comic book movie.
2 bug-related comic book teen heroes.
I think all of the Spider-Men are based on bugs.
Yeah, and then the Blue Beetle is also a bug.
And then Superman was inspired by
A Bug's Life.
A super bug.
The super bug. No, yours didn't make sense, Ben.
A kryptonite.
That's funny.
Okay, kryptonite. That's not bad.
I like how you didn't even loud. No, that's funny.
You redeemed it.
It was academic.
All right. Blue Beetle is coming. This is based on a DC Comics character. It was put into development and shot before James Gunn and Peter Safran took over the DC universe to kind of revamp all the movies and how they connect here coming up in the future. So this isn't necessarily explicitly connected to any of the upcoming movies or the movies that came before it.
But it was too expensive to shit can.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that because initially it was intended to be an HBO Max movie, but then they decided to make it a theatrical movie. So they've got confidence in it.
Well, of course, as this but it doesn't tie in anything. So like they're releasing these movies, but it's like why?
Well, it doesn't mean that you can't tie it into stuff. It just means that they didn't go out of their way to do it because they didn't necessarily want it to be. Even before the DC takeover, stuff happened, they didn't want to be beholden to the rest of the universe, which I'm fine with. But and honestly, to me, I think this looks cool.
Oh, no, I'm not shitting on the movie. I just it's crazy what they're doing at DC. Like,
for sure.
How they're trying to weave this stuff. It's like we're not going to release Batgirl, but we are going to release this. We're not going to have that. And who the hell knows what's going on with the old Ezra Miller guy? Holy crap, that's a whole nother thing. So I don't know. I'm just
it's definitely a mess, and James Gunn is trying to clean it up as best he can. He actually tweeted when the trailer came out that the movie rules apparently, so he's a fan of it, and so this feels like a movie that would have come out in the late '90s.
Yep.
But I don't mind it. Like there's something about it that is appealing. Like it just feels like it's kind of fun and
it's got like an original Transformers vibe.
It's like kind of like an Iron Man with like meets Kronos kind of vibe.
Kind of like an original Transformers vibe.
There is a little bit. I'll give you that. It does feel like a little bit of a transfer. But I like the family dynamic here. I like the comedy. For me, as somebody who
loves George Lopez,
of course,
with crazier beards,
who he does have a crazy beard in this one. But no, as somebody who comes from a Mexican family, it's cool to see to finally get a Mexican superhero like this, especially since we're also getting Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 2099, and like the Mexican family dynamic here seems like it's definitely front and center. The family is a big part of it, I think it looks cool. What do you guys think?
I'm on board. I saw the trailer. It was very engaging. It's hard these days to have a new superhero that you're introducing to the world, and he or she has powers that you've never seen before, or a suit that you've never seen before. Everything is slightly derivative these days because we've just seen so much. The way that this suit interacts with the human body that it's on is different and it's way different enough that I was like, oh God, this is it really did shock me.
It's a bit gnarly.
Times.
Yeah,
it's cool, but not like Venom or something where it's taking over. It just seemed to be very visceral. I liked it.
It has a more of a, even though there's obviously the superhero aspect to it, it feels like an old school sci-fi adventure in that way, where the focus is kind of more on this weird thing like that, is giving this person, strange abilities and that kind of thing, rather than him coming to terms with the fact that like he's a superhero now. I'm sure that will come into play, but at least the vibe so far is that. Alex, how about you?
Well, when the trailer started, because I saw it in theaters because it's attached to Dungeons and Dragons, and then I watched it again on my phone just to make sure that I wasn't watching a different trailer. And when I watched the trailer in the theater, which I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer in the theater, like watching it, I'm like, boy, this feels like a miniseries. Like this, like I'm watching, like this feels like a miniseries. And then so hearing that it was supposed to be on HBO Max, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But it definitely does have the vibe of like what you said, like a late 90s teen found a mystic item in a backpack in the woods.
Yeah.
And it definitely does give him powers, but he's going to dealing with that is the issue, not some larger sky laser that they're going to have to blow up in the future. I was really shocked just by the end of the trailer how interested I was, because I have passing knowledge of Blue Beetle, at least this iteration of him with the weird alien scarab thing, and by the end of it I'm like, okay, this is. It felt like at the beginning it felt like superhero fatigue, oh great, a guy with a suit and the suit does cool stuff. I don't care anymore, and DC always drops the ball. So why would I get invested? And by the end of it, I'm like, well, now I'm invested. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I hope that it doesn't have to carry water for any other DC property, either prior to James Gunn or post James Gunn. I hope Ezra Miller doesn't run through the middle of it and I'm in this movie too, and runs past real fast.
I don't know. Actually, if that was what the cameo is, then I would be fine with it.
I'm in this one too.
Yeah.
But I hope it doesn't have to do any work for any other DC property. I really hope that any DC movie that gets made over the next 5 years doesn't have to do any work for any other DC movies. Just do some movies, I guess. He released...
Hey, DC, just do some movies.
Yeah, just do some movies.
Just make a movie and stop worrying about other movies.
Just do some movies.
Yeah.
Well, he released the schedule, the Gods and Monsters, plan, I guess. And it's covered in, I think, attachable heroes or for the most part, guys you haven't seen a lot of. Good. Great.
Well, I mean... It's a mix.
But that is good because
it's a mix.
Well, yeah, there's still the Batmans and
he's making a Superman movie. So.
But
oh, I've never heard of that guy.
But I don't know. I don't need them to. I don't need another Superman movie just because we have the IP. Well, you can make a Blue Beetle movie. Make. Guy Gardner.
They are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do all these crazy things with the Suicide Squad and with John Cena's Peacemaker and Polka Dot Man and whatever crazy characters from the Vault.
They're probably just not going to make season 2 of the Peacemaker just because he's so busy.
Yeah. No, they are.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're still doing it.
I'm so mad. I was so mad about that.
No, they're still doing it.
Okay,
it's happening. Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I agree with Superman. Though I'm going to be interested until someone finally feels like they really get it right, because they haven't gotten it right since Christopher Reeve's
the original, yeah.
Yeah. And so, Henry Cavill, he was a fine Superman, but Zack Snyder did not give him enough to do to make a great Superman, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was a really good actor for that role, but the Superman he was asked to play wasn't a very good Superman.
And then obviously Superman Returns is just a carbon copy of Superman the movie with Brandon Routh, and directed by Bryan Singer, and the sooner we forget about it, the better.
I forgot about that movie. I didn't even remember it existed.
But yeah, so we need a better contemporary Superman. I hope James Gunn is the one to do it. I think he can. But yeah,
I forgot the name Brandon Routh. Wow, I mean, really, just forgot.
He's done better since. I think.
No, I hope so. I'm not trying to trash him at all, but wow, that was such a forgettable movie.
Yeah,
wow,
it really was not a great Superman.
If you would have, honestly, right before you started talking, if you would have said, "Oh, hey, you know how they only made the movie with
Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill?"
Yeah, I would be like, "Yeah, no, there's
right.
been 2.
No other Superman." Cal Penn is in Superman Returns.
Oh, that's the one.
He's a-
you know what?
Who is the Lex Luthor in Superman
Kevin
Returns?
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
Yikes.
Isn't that the one about he's trying to make more land?
Yeah.
Basically.
He's got like
I remember
land
that.
that no one
kryptonite
would
rock.
want.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just
Land
talk
that
about
no one wants.
very quickly because I remember watching that in the theater
Yep.
and being like, what land developer is gonna be like, you know what I want? I want craggy bullshit. I want to build mansions on craggy bullshit.
Did you
This
use
is
space
insane.
radiation?
It was so fucking weird. Like that's the plot of the movie. This is terrible.
No one else is worried about having land where Superman can't be. If anything, it's not a selling point.
Yeah, I was
Everyone's
gonna
gonna
say-
be like, wait a minute, Superman can't come here to save us? I don't
So,
want this.
And we're gonna build the world's tallest buildings. By the way, it's gonna have super sky structures. And when you fall out of one, Superman physically can't come save you. Even though because it's so tall, he would have plenty of time.
But it's okay. We've got Kevin Spacey.
And doing his best real estate mogul.
It's such a bummer that Kevin
Oh.
Spacey turned out to be a piece of shit because I do think he is actually good as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And before he was cast, he was who I wanted as Lex Luthor. So when they announced him, I was like, oh fuck yeah. And then now I'm like, oh fuck you.
That's fair.
Just real upsetting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the trailers. And should we play a round of Last Man Standing?
Sure.
Maybe?
We haven't done that in quite a while.
We haven't done that in a while. Alex, do you want to pick somebody for us to play Last Man Standing with?
Sure. I will pick. You know what? Let's do Bruce Willis because
Oh, okay, yeah.
like in honor of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I'm sure, as everyone has probably heard, Bruce Willis unfortunately has been diagnosed with aphasia, and definitely having some issues with his memory. And he's seems to be retired now.
Well, they've updated it to like kind of full blown dementia now.
Well, that's basically what aphasia is, but
Not really.
no,
There's two different diagnoses.
is there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Konowitz.
Dementia is worse. Aphasia is
Yeah.
bad, of course, but full blown dementia is pretty bad.
Fair enough. Is that the technical term?
Full blown dementia.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. You've got full blown dementia.
What is it? Full blown AIDS? What is that from? That's from a Family Guy thing. I
Probably,
can't
yeah.
remember.
They do a lot of age jokes.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, Bruce Willis. Alex, since you picked, we'll let you start.
Okay, I would say Die Hard.
Good. And I'll say Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I'll say Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Hudson Hawk.
All right. Live Free or Die Hard.
It's a good day to die hard.
Ooh. I'm going to give it to you because you did say the full title, but it's just A Good Day to Die Hard.
Oh no, I'm out then.
No, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you put that article could
Yeah.
that article could have fit in the sentence.
It
Yeah.
could have, but that's not the title of the movie.
But you get it because you still said the full title. I'm fine with it.
Oh, like tacking on an additional word.
Right.
I at least said
Exactly.
the entire title. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. All right. All right.
Yeah, no, I think
That's
you're
fair.
good.
That's fair. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Death Becomes Her.
Okay. The Last Boy Scout.
North.
As a kid, I loved North. It's a bad movie.
really bad.
But
It's famously bad.
yeah, but I loved it because I recognized so many people in it, and it was just so much fun for me to watch.
Tears from the Sun.
Mm-hmm. It's true. The Kid.
Death Wish.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in the remake of that. Wow, forgot about that shit. Brandon Routh did.
Yeah.
The Expendables 2.
Ooh. I'm gonna look up the Expendables 2.
Yeah, well, I'll do it since I
So-
said it.
It's either
Don't type in Bruce Willis, just type in Expendables 2.
Yeah.
I think he is in Expendables 2.
instead of the first one
Yeah.
because he plays Mr. Church.
Yeah, cause I think it's the second one because the second one is the one that they got Schwarzenegger in, and he
They
appeared-
meet in-
they
Yeah.
appear in that scene
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure too.
Here.
Yeah, he is. I'm looking at the.
All right,
He is.
perfect. 16 Blocks.
That's a good movie. Mos Def was really good in that.
It's true.
Cop Out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pick movies from his when he had hair days.
It's a limited window.
I know, but he made a lot of movies.
He
It's
has
true.
made a ton of movies.
Nope.
Try one of his action movies.
I'm trying. Mercury Rising.
Yeah, good one.
There you go.
There you go. Heart's War.
The Jackal.
Nice.
I love that movie. I can't remember. 2 Days in Venice. That's not what it's called.
I think it's 3 Days in Venice.
Yeah.
That's the one with him and John Goodman.
Yeah. Where
That
he's
just
the
came out like a few years ago.
where he's the private investigator.
Feel free to look it up if you want to
It's-
double check.
that's- I don't believe that's the title.
It's
but
not. I'm out.
I think Once Upon a Time in Venice.
That's
what it is. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. All right, I'm out.
Pulp Fiction.
Once Upon a Time in Venice. I can't believe you didn't steal it. It's right there.
I wasn't even thinking about it. Bonfire of the Vanities.
Yeah.
Look Who's Talking.
Look Who's Talking 2.
I don't think he's in the third one, so I'm not going to say that.
That was about dogs.
It is about dogs. And the kids would be too old. They'd be voicing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The Color of Night.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking cool if they didn't, though.
Ocean's 12.
Well, now we're getting a cameo territory.
Oh my God, there's so many fucking.
There's so many Bruce Willis movies.
Yeah.
There are so many. Did you say Hudson Hawk?
I did.
He did.
Gotcha. Red.
Surrogates.
Wow.
Mm.
That's a deep cut. Moonrise Kingdom.
The Sixth Sense.
Unbreakable.
Yeah. Walked right into that one. Gosh, what are some of the unfortunately bad movies he did in recent years?
The problem is
Yeah,
those titles are super generic.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They are.
I'm gonna when I'm out, which is pretty soon, I'm just gonna say things like Galaxy Force and just guess. It might be one of them.
You were really close.
Armageddon.
It's a good one, Brad. It's a pretty big one. The Whole 9 Yards.
The whole 10 yards.
Yeah, I was like, damn it. Is he going to remember that? So I'm like, it's going to be right back on me if he does this, but fuck it. I don't have much left. I was really hoping that you were going to not remember that. Let's save that one.
Save that one.
Yeah, because I'm like 90% sure he's in it.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
see.
like, that'll be the guess.
I see. It's getting hard out here for a pimp.
Bruce Willis was in a little movie called
Boom, 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 boom.
So you're not helping.
Chick chickadoo, chick chickaree, chick chickaroo, chick chickaree.
He's doing deep cuts off of The Life of Bruno, Bruce Willis's
Yep.
blues
Yeah.
album. His blues/scat album.
Scat album.
Yeah.
Skip-bop, zippity-bow.
Sing it about
Die hard.
It's a good day to die hard.
Oh my god. Moonlighting was a TV show, not a movie. Over the Hedge.
That's one that I had in my back pocket, and I was like right there. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's the lead in that movie. Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
He plays the president.
The Fifth Element.
Fuck! What are we doing?
I don't know.
That's the one that made me say there's so many. And when I looked at my phone.
Oh my gosh, Bruce Willis. You know, I think Bruce Willis, one of his recent crappy movies, is also with another one who has been relegated to crappy movies. And I'm going to go on a limb and say it's called Paradise City with John Travolta.
It is called Paradise City with John Travolta. That is correct.
Nicely done.
John Travolta's sporting his bald and bearded villain look in this movie.
Wow.
Just got off of the Pelham 123.
And the From Paris with Love.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just got on a movie with Bruce Willis. At least I think I do. Yeah, I got it.
He was in a whole series we don't even know about.
Don't give him your hints.
This is not a hint.
Oh man.
Come on, Benny boy.
No, I think I might. I think I'm gonna. This is incredibly boring for the listeners, so I think I'm just gonna.
Is
call
it though?
It is pretty.
I think they're getting pretty excited.
I don't think.
Is he
so.
going to name another Bruce Willis movie or not?
See, that's the whole excitement
Oh
of it.
my
Who
God.
knows? Will he have another one? Will one come out of the woodwork?
The Quick and the Dead.
I don't think he's in that.
I don't think so, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
But I do think that he is in G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Oh, he absolutely is.
He most assuredly is.
Yeah.
And that's it for me.
Yeah, I think that the The biggest one that we missed was probably Looper.
Ah,
And Looper, 12 Monkeys, and Sin City
12 Monkeys.
Yeah,
I think-
Sin City.
represents. And strangely enough, you said Red, but then no one said Red
So
too.
I couldn't remember if he was
yeah,
in it.
I couldn't either. I wasn't sure.
It was a whole 10-yard situation.
He was the star of both Red and Red 2.
I thought he was, but I was like, I don't know.
But here's some Bruce Willis classics that you might not be aware of.
Yeah, who the last ones in the last 4 years.
So first of all, he apparently has taken the role of Detective Knight many times. Detective Knight Rogue, Detective Knight Independence, Detective Knight Daybreak, which I'm Detective Knight Redemption. Then we got Cosmic Sin, which was awful close to
Sin.
Galaxy Blast or whatever you said.
Galaxy Blast.
Strangely, Midnight at the Switchgrass.
Okay.
He is a cop in all of these.
Of course.
Just in case you were concerned. 10 Minutes Gone.
There
with
is one that I have seen.
Michael
of these.
Chiklis.
There is a space-themed one that I have seen.
Which one is it?
You haven't named it.
Oh.
Is it White Elephant?
Nope.
He also is in the first Expendables.
Oh.
Vendetta?
Ooh, maybe it's I don't know.
Last Man Standing was one from when I was
That's it.
older. But
Last
yeah.
Man Standing.
Yeah.
Ah, that's funny.
Like what the game is.
Damn it! No, but like that's the Western.
yeah, but that's
I
funny.
was thinking the Quick and the Dead. Like I'm an idiot instead of Last Man Standing. Oh my god.
Planet Terror.
Oh, that really pisses me off.
Lucky Number 11.
Lucky Number 11.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alpha Dog. Hostage.
Hostage.
Which
Rugrats
is,
Go Wild.
I can only think of The Negotiator.
Yeah,
And
no.
I was trying to I know he's like his
Band
kids
No,
in the
Bandits.
house.
so Hostage. I get confused with Ransom.
Yeah, okay.
Give me back my money.
Mm-hmm.
Ransom
Or
is
whatever.
good. That's how you remember.
Ransom is a good movie.
Yeah, I
Hostage
know.
isn't bad. He's trapped in the house with the people.
Is he a hostage?
He is the hostage.
Oh, well, that makes it way better.
But
Yeah.
he's gonna get out.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
I think Brian Dennehy's in that.
You know what do you think, Brad?
Yes.
What do you think is? And we're at an hour 8, so we can
Oh, that's fine. We're good.
cut this if you want.
No.
What do you think Bruce Willis's most underrated film role is? And why is it The Jackal? I loved him in The Jackal.
That's a good question. I mean, it's a pretty good one. I'm not sure if there's any other one that I would pick other than that. I do think. I mean, it's just a cameo, but his cameo in Ocean's 12 is great. He plays himself, but he's very very funny. Like just the delivery of when Carl Reiner, it comes up to him and he's doing the doctor accent and everything like that, and he's like reprimanding him. He just goes, "I'm Bruce Willis." And it's just like just a hint of cockiness,
Right.
but also just like, hey, just so you know.
Right. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. But I do think that there's a special place in my heart for A Good Day to Die Hard, because he's on vacation in that one.
Is that the one with Timothy Olyphant?
No.
That's Live Free or Die Hard.
And
Yeah.
which is a good movie.
Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. That one's
No,
pretty
it's
good.
not bad. It's good.
I don't know if I would say it's good.
It's
because
good.
No,
It's
it's
fine.
my problem with it is that
It's not great. It's good.
but
Yeah, okay.
okay, it's because it doesn't feel much like a Die Hard movie.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
But there's still, it's throwing John McClane into technology, which of course he doesn't get to, understand. But I think I liked it enough.
I think the same problem I have with Live Free or Die Hard are roughly the same problems that I had with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where both fourth installments, and even though both Harrison Ford and Bruce Willis stay true to the characters they're playing, the movie around them doesn't feel like it fits in.
You got a real Shia LaBeouf, Justin Long situation going
their
on.
franchise. And while in both movies, I appreciate, like you said, them putting John McClane into an arena where he doesn't understand this technology shit. He's just this regular kind of cop. And Indiana Jones is somebody who doesn't buy in, to like the sci-fi alien stuff, which kind of makes it like the perfect thing to like test, his perspective on things. But it just doesn't work very well.
That's fair.
So
That I will 100% watch Live Free or Die Hard over Kingdom of the Crystal
Oh, for
Skull.
sure.
Oh
every
yeah,
second
Absolutely.
of the day. So-
twice on Sunday,
Except for Live Free or Die Hard does not have a scene with swinging with monkeys through the jungle, which
is
to its
disappointment.
detriment. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Alex, thanks for being here and sitting in while Nate is off selling drugs in Alabama.
That's the narrative I've been pushing.
Yeah,
I've told
as
everybody.
he's been pushing drugs. We appreciate it. If you like this podcast, be sure to rate us 5 stars on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast goods and groceries. Please like our page on Facebook. Check out our website. Tell your friends about the podcast. Xander says bye.
Go flixyourselfpod.com for
Yeah.
all previous episodes.
That's where it's at, and we always just like hearing from you about the movies you're watching and things you like, and if there's anything maybe you want us to watch, especially Ben. Ben's looking for musicals,
I'm not.
big long musicals.
Alex, you got any PSAs? Anything that you want to say? Any sponsors?
Everybody just keep being nicer to each other. We're doing better, and let's just keep doing it.
All right.
Oh, and no chewy M&Ms.
Thank you, Xander. Yeah,
keep the
the
M&Ms
kid gets it.
crunchy
Keep
and crispy.
the M&Ms crunchy and or crispy.
To be fair, these M&Ms still have a crunch to them, but they just have a chewier center.
I'll give you a crunch.
I wish you would.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Nah, cheating, eh?